If we have a look on the interaction between our company, which is here in the screen located on the left-hand side, our company, and the customer, and let's have a quick view on the interaction between our company and the customer to understand what is ST working on. So what are the tasks of the ST module? Let's start with the first topic. Customers places a purchase order and sends it to our company. We are the selling company. And in our system, this order is a sales order. From the perspective of a customer, it's a purchase order. From our perspective, it is a sales order. So the customer places an order and we receive the sales order. After we have received the sales order, we are just starting with the logistics parts and pick the goods and pack them on pallets and put everything on a truck and for sending them to the customer. So this is the next interaction. After everything has been done within the warehouse, goods will be issued. From our perspective, it's a goods issue. We are sending the goods. From customer's perspective, it's a goods receipt. So the customer is receiving the goods. This is the second interaction area between our company, selling company on the left-hand side, and the customer located on the right-hand side. Next interaction is after customer receives the goods, he will get an invoice from us. So we are starting with number 5, the billing. After goods has been issued, we start the billing and send the invoice to the customer. The interaction between us is that we create the billing document and send to the customer, and from customer's perspective, it's an invoice received. And the last interaction within this flow is that the customer pays the invoice. From our perspective, it's the incoming payment, so we receive the money which we have billed to the customer, so the amount of the billing document, and we receive the incoming payment. So for the sales process, this interaction will be finished by receiving the payments, so the incoming payment. So these are the interaction areas between our company, selling company, and the customer. And ST is located on our side and processing these topics: sales order, delivery, goods invoice, goods issue, and so on, the logistic part, the billing part, and of course the incoming payment. The last step of incoming payments is not really within ST, it's a more financial topic, but from a general perspective, I've just put it here. So ST is this interaction between our company and the customer. ST is managing these steps and these processes. If we are talking about SAP SD, sales and distribution, then we have to consider always these topics of data and processes. So data and processes are the main topics which control the functions and the processes within the ST module. Of course, this is also valid for other modules, but here we are focusing on SAP sales and distribution. Therefore, I mentioned it for ST. Data and processes are the major topics which controls everything within the system. By data, I mean, first of all, of course, the setup of the org structure. Org structure is also a kind of data you set up for your own sales organization or distribution channel, or assigning to your sales organization to a company code and link it to the plant and so on. The building of the org structure is a kind of data. Of course, you have your master data, which controls a lot of things like materials, conditions, also outputs or customers could be as well master data. Beside master data, we have our very important topic of transactional data. So transactional data is data which is created and changed for every single process step. The transactional data is, for example, a sales order, a delivery document. invoice document, invoice item, line items, and so on. Each data which is created within one single process is transactional data. Finally, within data, we could also consider all the customizing setup. Of course, I could merge these two topics of organizational structure and customizing, but I've separated it because org structures is well customizing, but specific customizing, therefore I just put it somewhere else. But customizing is setup of the process types, setup of the material types, of the and you set up a lot of things to control your process within SD based on customizing. And customizing is as well data. Difference between customizing and master data is mainly master data will be maintained by the user, and customizing mainly maintained by a functional consultant. On the other hand, we have the processes part, which is, of course, different processes which could be run within SAP sales and distribution. So basically, or mainly, it is the sales process. Then we could have we will have the returns process to get the goods back. And there could be as well a credit memo process. Within SAP SD, there are several processes. I've just mentioned here 3 of them, but I would say there are about 20 or 25 different processes like debit memo, third-party processing, and so on.